change the camera lens from like, why are y'all getting cancer so much, to be like, why is there laws that make it legal to discriminate against Black women because of their hair? That is way more of an interesting topic to me, because
sometimes it don't make no sense. Does it really have to?
Hi! Welcome to Maya's World.
I'm in the ghetto.
So, good news is that I have finally hit 5,000 subscribers, which is huge, because I remember when I started making YouTube videos and like all of my videos would get like 7 views, and I was like, I just can't wait to get 10 views. It slowly increased, and I'm very appreciative to everybody who's rocking my channel up until this point. If you're new, subscribe, like, comment. I try to engage with the comment section of my videos, and you guys like love to leave lengthy things and I love to answer, so thank you everybody for helping me get to this point. I also am like super happy with my equipment. It's been able to like step my game up. Like I feel more confident editing and like producing stuff, and my goal at this time is to release 2 videos a week. Let's hope I do it, you know what I'm saying? I have free time, so I have no excuse to not do it, so let's get it, sis. So today's topic is something really interesting, because I saw this Guardian article that came out, and the headline was, let me read it exactly. So the headline says, there should be clear warnings, hair dye cancer risks, strokes, fear in Black women. So I want to discuss this in 2 parts. I want to talk first about the article, and then I want to talk about like the real problem. Do you know what I mean? Because this is like a symptom, but I think there's like a bigger problem. So I'll leave a link for the article so you guys can read it, but it's saying that hair dye and chemical relaxers have an increased rate of 60% of giving Black women cancer, breast cancer. And the reason that is because there's certain chemicals that really throw off your hormones, which can lead to like breast cancers and thyroid problems and just different stuff. And also, you know, whenever you go to like a store, there's like dye that's for like white hair and dye that's for black hair, and like often it's split into 2. My theory is that the ones that are for the black hair just have way more stronger chemicals, because maybe our hair is kinkier, so maybe it's putting in more stuff. And like, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that like perms are deathly as fuck, yo. Like when you smell a perm, like it smells like death. Like none of us are gonna act like, oh my god, I thought this perm was organic. Like we know perms, they don't even, like, you can't even get it on your skin, bro. Like if you can't get it on your skin, like imagine putting that in your hair. So like it's just wild. But like none of us are like unaware, you know what I mean? Like we know it's dangerous, we know that these things are dangerous, but it's kind of like what we feel like we have to do. So I read that 75% of Black women use some kind of chemical relaxer, whether it be hair dye or perms or texturizers, which is like really interesting, because I guess with the natural hair movement, it seems like it's less. But I was also reading that it's like the older generation has a higher, like uses it way more than like the younger generation, because I feel like the younger generation seems to be more natural, but it could also just be like the circles I'm in and like the things that I'm seeing. But perms have been a part of Black hair history since it feels like the beginning of time, or like I guess the beginning of colonialism and race and slavery, which is like a whole nother topic. Yeah, so perms have been like a really big part of like Black history and Black hair, because ultimately like trying to have more Eurocentric features has just been incredibly lucrative. The reason I want to break this into 2 parts is because it's really easy to look at these problems and be like, Black women just don't perm your hair, Black women just don't put chemicals in your hair. But it's like, bro, it's not that easy, yo. Like there's a system in place. So I think it's really important to like change the camera lens from like, why are y'all getting cancer so much, to be like, why is there laws that make it legal to discriminate against Black women because of their hair? That is way more of an interesting topic to me, because you know, there's such really big narrative that in mainstream media, in mainstream corporate America, you're not allowed to have your natural hair texture. So Black women for the longest time have been putting weaves and wigs and hiding their hair to be able to get a job, to be able to pay your bills, to be able to even be seen as attractive to people who like you, because we've pushed this narrative so much that Eurocentric features is beautiful, that to even really be able to be desired by a lot of people, you feel this pressure to straighten your hair. And I would be like such a fake if I'm just like, yo, everybody go natural, because like God knows I was a straight weaved motherfucker for a long time in my life. You know, I've spent more of my life perming my hair and putting chemicals in my hair than I have being natural. And I know that when I was doing those things, I knew perms weren't good for me, but I felt like that's what I had to do to get a, you know, to finish my degree, to work as like a landscape architect. Like I felt like I had to do these things to be like seen as attractive, to like hit like standards of beauty. Like I wasn't really in a position to like branch out and embrace being myself fully in my body, because there were certain things that I felt like I had to achieve before I could really show who I was. I think I stopped like officially perming my hair like 5 or 6 years ago, which isn't even that long ago. You know, I used to wear a weave and like perm the front of my edges, which a lot of girls do, but like nobody wants to talk about it, which we'll have a whole nother video about like baby hair and that whole thing. But perms have been so much a part of my life. I've had more of my life with perms than without perms. And as someone who's now natural and promotes like this way of being, I just know this is not possible for a lot of people. Not because of the maintenance, because obviously there's no maintenance in this, but because of the pressures that you will face. Like, I think because I do work that is in entertainment, or that's in more like being an individual, or like because I work for myself, I have so much more leeway with how I can look. And and I also think the older generation was kind of beaten up way harder than our generation was, because so much pressure from our parents and stuff will tell us like, you can't have hair like that, you can't look like that. Like even when I had my hair like this in the beginning, I faced a lot of pushback from my parents and from my mom particularly, because she just was really scared that I wasn't gonna be able to get a job. She was like, what job will hire you like this? Like I remember I had a job interview for like this fellowship that I had. I kid you not, my mom was like, Maya, please, like just wear a wig. Just wear a wig for the interview. And then when they take you, just take the wig off and just live. I'm like, Mom, what wig will fit on my hair? What we gonna have? Like a curly front? It won't fit. Like, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't even. And I was like, no, like I want them to see who I am. I don't want to do this pretend thing and then switch it up. And you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to go from Beyonce to fucking Chaka Khan. You know, I want to just be the same person. And it works to my advantage. But I don't blame her for thinking like that, because there's been so many incidences over and over and over that have consistently failed Black women when they choose to embrace who they are. And I want to talk about this this law called the Crown Act, which I just found out when I was doing research about this. So there's this thing called the Crown Act, which is to protect Black people from being discriminated in the workforce because of our hair. And it's only been passed in a few states, like in California. So in probably 45 of the 50 states in the US, it is literally legal to not hire me because my hair grows like this. Like, y'all, let me just break this down. When I wake up, this is how my hair looks, right? Like my hair literally just grows like this. Because my hair grows like this, and because I don't add dye, which could potentially give me cancer, I can't get a job in like a lot of professional settings. Like, are we understanding that like, because of who I am as a person, I can't work for a lot of companies, so I can't get a job? Like, it's wild. Like literally it is still legal to discriminate because I'm Black. Like, because my hair is a part of my Black. I can't separate the two. My hair, you know what I mean? Like if I like, it's just wild. And I'm very fortunate. Like I said, I work for myself, so I don't have to, you know, fit a really typical standard of what is acceptable in society. But I do think seeing more people who embrace their natural hair, who have freeform locks, who have nappy hair that is visibly seen, will really just help culture. And also just the breakdown of how natural this hair is. Like, I didn't do anything to my hair to be like this. This was literally how I came out the womb. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is literally, when my hair grows, it grows like this. So there should be no reason why I'm discriminated against. What you're telling me too subconsciously is that my hair is ugly, which is a goddamn lie. So yeah, Black women are at a higher risk for having breast cancer. But then again, Black women are high risk of being unemployed. And like all these things come down to like a lot of systems at place that prevent us from being able to be ourselves, to be who we are, to be in our Blackness. And I want to make another video about this Crown Act law because these are things I'm really interested in, and also maybe like seeing how to push legislation to pass these things so we have more protection. But I think ultimately making videos like this, bringing up awareness about stuff like this, and also just like not having it centered around shame. I don't want any black women to feel shame because they have their hair straightened or their hair permed. Like, it's fucking survival, yo. Like, you're not, you know what I mean? Like, it's a survival mechanism because you have to fit these standards a lot of times to be able to get your foot in the door. And I don't blame anybody. Who I do blame though is the companies that are discriminating, is legislations that aren't passing these things that could easily protect us. It's people who want to continuously blame us for how we choose to get by. That's who I do place blame on. But it's sad. There's nothing really we can do. I guess if you're in a position where you can move away from the creamy crack, or let me not even say creamy crack, I think that's such a messed up term. If you're in a position where you can move away from perms and dyes, you know, maybe that could be better in the long run. I don't know, yo. I don't really have a wrap up for this video. But I hope this is helpful. I want to talk more about social issues that I see like this, because I think people think that they don't look at the reasons why things are how they are. They just see these little articles and you just get scared. And then it just puts kind of like shame and blame on people, and it really shouldn't. It should be a discussion, and it should be really digging deep to see what the bigger issue is. So thank you for watching. Have a great day. Cheers.
There is nothing I can say but the feelings when I think of you.